Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. In today's video, I will explain to you about countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Okay, let's look at the first one, which is countable nouns. What are countable nouns? Countable nouns are nouns or things that we can count using numbers. Most nouns are countable, okay, and have singular and plural forms. So if we look at this table, in the first column, we have singular noun. For example, sister. If there are many of them, for plural, we call it as sisters with the S at the back. Okay, one toy, many toys. One bottle, many bottles. One leaf, many leaves. One tomato, many tomatoes. One family, many families. One child, many children. One woman, many women. One foot, many feet. Okay. Number two, we usually use a or an with singular countable nouns. Okay, for example, if there is only one wedding, we say a wedding. One sister, you say a sister. One toy, you say a toy. One bottle, you say a bottle. One leaf, you say a leaf. However, if the noun starts with a vowel sound, for example, O, E, E, O, and E over here, then we use article N. For example, an opinion. You don't say a opinion, you say an opinion. An apple, not a apple. An eagle, an oak tree, an issue. Next, we can use some, any, or a number, for example, 3, 4, or 5, with plural countable nouns. Kalau kata nama tu plural, ada banyak dan boleh dikira countable, then we use some, any, or a number. For example, there are some birds in the park. Are there any cookies? We are moving house in 3 weeks. Okay, next. We use singular, satu, or plural verb forms with countable nouns depending on whether we are talking about one or more items. Okay, for example, a family get together. Okay, so this is the subject of the sentence. Okay, there is only one item here, only one family get together, ada satu perjumpaan sahaja. Then for the verb, we use a singular verb. Okay, that's why we say is. A family get together is just what we need. Okay. Example number 2. My sisters live in KL. So my sisters here is a plural subject. Okay, ada ramai kakak, ada ramai adik perempuan. So my sisters live. So live here is a plural verb. Okay, live in KL. So we learn this in present tense, for example. Okay, note. Some plural countable nouns, ada kata nama yang plural dah boleh dikira ni, don't end in S or ES. So we call them as irregular nouns. Okay. Remember to use a plural verb for form with them. For example, we don't say childs. Okay. Untuk kanak-kanak, we don't say childs, we say children. Okay. Kalau kaki, ada banyak kaki, we don't say foods, we say feet. Okay, so for these plural countable nouns, we use plural verb with the word with the one are. Okay, plural verb. Children are sometimes unkind. We don't say children is, we say children are. His feet are very big. You don't say his feet is, you say his feet are. Okay, we use plural verb. Okay. Next, we look at uncountable nouns. Okay, uncountable nouns are nouns or things that you cannot count. You can measure it, kita boleh ukur benda tu, but we cannot count. Kita tak boleh kira. Okay. So some nouns are uncountable. They do not have plural forms. Okay, kata nama yang uncountable ni dia tidak ada plural form. Okay, for example, advice. Okay, nasihat tu tak boleh dikira. Ada satu nasihat, kedua nasihat, ketiga nasihat ke kan? So we say advice tu as a whole lah. Okay, nasihat. History. Okay, progress. Cheese. Chocolate. Information. Rubbish. Equipment. Knowledge. Salt. Food. Luggage. Fruit. Milk. Traffic. Fun. money, water, furniture, music, weather, homework, research, and time. Okay. For example, maksudnya if there is a lot of time pun, masa tu memang banyak, we don't count it as satu masa, dua masa, tiga masa, right? We just mention it as time. Okay. These words do not have plural forms. Dia tak ada ss. Okay. We don't use a or an with uncountable nouns. Okay, kita tak akan gunakan a or an sebab dia tak boleh kira. Okay. We can use some and any. Okay. For example, I would like some cheese in my sandwich. Have you got any homework tonight? Okay. Next, we always use singular verb. Okay, kita selalu gunakan kata kerja yang singular. Kata kerja singular ni yang ada s tu lah. Okay, forms with uncountable nouns. So instead of saying this fruit is delicious, we say this fruit is so delicious. Okay, tak kisahlah atas meja tu kita ada durian, rambutan, mango, grapes apa semua. Okay, we consider that them as one unit. Okay, we say the fruit is so delicious. Okay, milk is good for you. It doesn't matter how many bottles of milk. Okay, we just mention it as milk is good for you. Okay, is kita tak kata are. Okay, walaupun ada banyak botol susu contohnya. Okay, next. Note some uncountable nouns, okay, end in s. Ada juga kata nama yang uncountable ni berakhir dengan s, but we use singular verb. Okay, kita guna singular verb, the one with the is tu. Okay, for example, the news. Okay, news ni adalah uncountable, tak boleh kira pun satu news ke dua news. But, dan dia ada s, selalunya kita ingat kalau ada s, benda tu plural kan, but this is not the case. So the news is good. You don't say the news are good. Okay, you say the news is good because news ni is considered as one. Maths. Okay, maths is a subject with the s at the back. But so this is not many maths. Okay, maths, singular maths is my favorite subject. Okay, walaupun dia berakhir dengan s. Okay. Next, we can use phrases describing quantity. Okay, with uncountable nouns. So uncountable nouns ni walaupun kita tak boleh kira, we cannot count them, but we can measure them. Kita boleh ukur. Okay, so we use these phrases describing quantity to say how much we have. Okay, the most common of these phrases are a jar of pickles, satu balang jeruk, for example. You didn't say jeruk, kalau jeruk you cannot kira. Okay, but if you say a jar of pickles, then you can count lah berapa jar. Okay, a kilo of, okay, for example, a kilo of sugar. Okay, sugar tu kita tak boleh kira. Kita tak boleh kira berapa butir sugar tu kan. But we can measure it as how many kilos. A kilo or 2 kilos or 3 kilos. A loaf of bread. A number of people. A packet of dot dot dot, a piece of, a tin of, a bag of, a bottle of, a bowl of, a can of, a carton of, a cup of milk, a glass of coke, a bowl of soup, a glass of water. Okay, so uncountable nouns cannot be counted but can be measured using, and you can use phrases describing quantity. Okay, next we look at quantifiers. Quantifiers is pembilang lah, for example. Okay, in bahasa Melayu. Pemberi kuantiti, penilai kuantiti. Okay, so we have, in this table, we have quantifiers like some, any, a lot, lots of, a little, few, much, many. Okay, so let's see how these words are used. Okay, for example, okay, we have also this column uncountable nouns and plural countable nouns. Okay, let's see how we use these quantifiers. For the word some, okay, untuk perkataan some, beberapa some, okay, if the sentence is affirmative, ayat tu ayat penyata, okay, untuk we look at uncountable nouns first. Okay, kalau benda tu tidak boleh dikira uncountable, and we want to put it in an affirmative sentence dalam ayat penyata, we say some. There are some fruit in the fridge. Okay. And then kalau kata nama tu is plural and uncountable, we say we can also use some. Here are some books for your research. Okay, and then if you use some in a request, okay, dalam bentuk permintaan, okay, for example, uncountable nouns, can you give me some advice? Boleh bagi saya sedikit nasihat, for example? Okay, you say some advice. Okay, it can also be used with plural countable nouns. Okay, for example, please buy me some cookies. Please buy me some, um, give me some books, for example. Okay, if you want to offer something, okay, kita nak memberi tawaran. Okay, you can use both with uncountable and plural countable nouns. For example, would you like some chocolate? Okay, chocolate is uncountable nouns. Okay, would you like some chocolate? Or would you like some sweets? Sweets ni boleh kira kan? Okay, would you like some sweets? Okay. Next, we look at the word any. Okay, any can be used with both uncountable nouns and plural countable nouns. Okay, for example, in negative sentences, ayat negatif yang ada not. Okay, I didn't buy any chocolate for her. Okay, Sarah has not got any brothers. Okay, we also use any if you want to ask questions. Okay, did Julia buy any fruit at the market? Okay, soalan. Did you know any good hotels in Taipei? Okay, good. Okay, next we look at the word a lot or lots of. Okay, it can be the words can be used with uncountable nouns and plural countable nouns. For example, there is a lot of traffic today, or you can say there is lots of traffic today, or you can say there are a lot of people in town. There are lots of people in town. Okay, next we look at the word a little. A little can only be used with uncountable nouns. Okay, I have sheet this column. Okay, so it can only be used with uncountable noun. For example, I like a little milk in my tea, in affirmative sentence. Okay, then we have the word a few. Okay, a few can be used with plural countable nouns only. Okay, James always eats a few biscuits for breakfast. Okay, next we look at the word much. Okay, much can only be used with uncountable. Okay, yang tak boleh kira. Okay, in negative sentences, you say, there wasn't much snow last night. And then in a question, you can say, how much money do you have? Okay, next we look at the word many. Okay, so many is actually the opposite of much lah in terms of the usage with the noun. Okay, so basically much cannot be used with plural countable. Many cannot be used with uncountable. So many can only be used with plural countable. Benda yang banyak boleh kira. Okay, so in negative sentence, you can say not many of the novels are interesting. Okay, not negative sentence. But in a question, you can say how many of your friends seen that film? Okay. So that's all for today's lesson. Thank you for listening.